Handsome people of YouTube, massive pattern interrupt. I've got a fucking skinhead and I look like a skinny bag of bones. I've not been to the gym in about 2 weeks. I recently had a hair transplant. Maybe I'll talk about it one day, maybe I won't. How my experience of it, because I know there's probably a few guys that are going through similar experiences as I was about 2.5 weeks ago. So I know you guys probably want to know about it. Right now, I look like Lincoln Schofield. Lincoln Burrows, Schofield. I don't know which. If you've ever watched Prison Break, you know what I'm on about. But regardless, that has not stopped me in my motherfucking tracks. I've been on the ball every single day, grinding away, because it's all I can do. I can't go to the gym, can't go outside in the sun, and pretty much all I can do is work. So I've been in the trenches more than ever, and just recently we did a drop-in session, a savage drop-in session. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to post it and you guys can go through it, and if you watch it, you'll literally double your commissions. But genuinely, the main reason I wanted to kind of intro this is I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everybody that's been a part of my community for the past 8 months that we've been running it. Everybody that's invested their hard-earned money to be alongside me, and everybody that's come into this with the right mentality and has actually gotten the result that they want, because most of them have. And even if you look at the November leaderboard, which I'll post here, we got some ridiculous results time and time again, and I'm pretty sure there's very few people that can do that, back that with a full list of people making record comms. But I wanted to just kind of post this. I wanted to lay this out. Maybe you've seen it before because I did post it on Instagram, maybe you haven't, but I think it's really valuable for a lot of people to watch and just get insights to like how this is different to what you may see from other coaches and what you may have learned in the past, and how this can actually support you in making more commissions. But no, massive thank you to everyone. I'm going to post this the day before Christmas, so I wish you all, anybody that watches it, I wish you all a Merry Christmas. I hope you go into it blessed. You made the commissions you wanted to this year, and you're able to give your family what they deserve this year. And if you didn't, that's also fine. Don't beat yourself so much up about it. Just remember what you need to set goals towards coming into next year, and how much harder and much more savage and aggressive you need to become coming into the new year. Because if you don't feel good about it, then what you're not changing, you're choosing. I mean, I heard that quote once and I think it lands really well. What you're not changing is what you're choosing. Something that I did recently, I mean, last year I promised myself I would buy a watch. Last year I got my first ever Rolex, and now coming into this year I bought a new chocolate day date Rolex. I think it's really good to set yourself like clear expectations or goals that are within reach. I think Jeremy Haynes said this: set goals that you can see are just beyond the horizon. You know you can get to them in a shorter time frame. Because if you set goals that are too far out, it becomes unrealistic, and you start to lose momentum towards where you're heading towards them. And now this wasn't crazy expense. Obviously it's an expensive watch, right? But it wasn't crazy expensive that I knew within reach. I could promise, if I kept a promise to myself and I told myself, you know what, this year I'm gonna update, I'm gonna get myself another Rolex, but this time I'll make it a little bit. But this time around, it's gonna be something that I've been chasing for a bit, and it's been on my wish list for quite a bit. So I promised myself, if I keep up the work, if we have a good business year, I mean, this year with the business with STS we hit a perfect milestone that I told myself I would at the start of the year, and I'm pretty proud of myself. I should be. Sometimes I'm not. I'm in my own head, but like, it's been rewarding to know that I've been able to invest into a watch like this and know that work, I've been rewarded for all the sweat equity. But there you go. That's what it looks like. It's a nice chocolate day date. It's not to flex, it's just to show yourself, like, set expectations, set goals, set realistic goals, and go out there and achieve them, because there's nobody stopping you other than you. And that's a hard truth, but you've got to accept it. But anyway, what we'll do now is we'll just run straight into the training. We're going to run up on another drop-in session. That's probably going to be maybe just before New Year's, so you can come into the new year ready to go. In fact, what we'll do is we'll do another event post New Year. That way you're ready to come into New Year 2026 and rip it all the way to the fucking moon. Beautiful people. So be on the lookout for that. If you want, give me a message on IG just saying 2026, and then I'll put you on some form of a list. So just give me your email and put you on some form of a list, and we'll send you access to that. No selling, no upsells, no nothing. It's just, I want to give you as much value as you can in a 2-hour session, 3-hour session, whatever it is, and go away, make 2026 a good fucking year. Okay, so other than that, I'm out. Peace, bye bye. Go watch the fucking video. There's a lot of fathoms I'm having to try and avoid. Who the fuck's just let a fathom in? I let him in, but who the fuck joined with a fathom? It's a question.
They automatically join.
What's up? What's up? Beautiful people. Lewis, how are you, my good friend? I'll get that mic on, son. Come on.
Good. I'm good. Thanks.
Where you from?
Vancouver, Canada.
Nice, bro. Easy peasy. Zach Clover, how are you, my man?
I'm good. I'm good. How about
Wait,
yourself?
am I okay? Where are you from?
Birmingham.
Nice, bro. Easy peasy. Sweet. Tell you what, what I was gonna do this, guys, like I promised, I know, like I promised, like I won't upsell you, I won't sell you on anything. You do whatever the fuck you want with this session. Take value away from it. Go take some actionable steps. Go make some wins from this. This is all I want from this session. There's a couple of guys that I work with that are in the session as well, so obviously I'm gonna make sure it's as utmost value as I can provide. What would be helpful if you could just put in the chat what you sell. Yeah, just put what you sell. Put what you sell in the chat for me. What's up, Joshua? Big Joshua. How are you, bro?
What's good, Kurt? I'm right, man. How are you?
I knew you were English. I knew it.
How could you tell?
I don't know. I just know too many English people to know when they're English.
That's too funny, man.
Where you bought from?
From East London.
East London.
Yes.
Easy, easy peasy. Sweet. So we're all pretty much selling BizOp trading course. Easy. Airbnb, not a massive fan of it. Big Mick. Haven't sold it, but I'm just not. I don't know. Depends on the offer. I've seen some good offers from it. Ecom, my bread and butter. Ecom, bread and butter. Helping health practitioners build an online business. Okay, so that's kind of like a congruency kind of positioning in a way. Bathroom kitchen remodeling. Holy fuck. Some major limitations on that. Data engineering. Hayden, what's that? Is that like career coaching?
Yeah, basically. So there's skills, and then they also apply for jobs for you. It's actually a mad offer.
Is it a
It's
good
like
offer? Like an actual
yeah, it's literally the best offer I've seen. Well, me personally. So it's like end to end. They've helped 2,000 people. It's like super legit. The CEO is super involved. So
that's solid.
it's
What's the ticket
it's
price?
legit, yeah. 30K.
Shit,
It
30K.
ranges. 30K comes with a refund. They get you employed. It would obviously without the job apply, when they don't help you get employed, it's like 15K.
Shit,
And
that's
then
good.
up to 50K for like diamond package when you work with the CEO, but that's for like C-suite guys.
Yeah, yeah. How many calls you get a day on that?
I just literally got into the offer like a week ago. So I've just been dialing. I just got put on the round robin now. So I was
Nice.
booking my own calls. But the top guys earning about 30K. And it's like 5 to 8 calls, 5 to 6 calls, like somewhere around there.
Okay. The top guy's earning 30K.
Yeah.
Nice, bro.
Average is like 15, and then there's some people just making no money, obviously. There's 40 closes.
Yeah, well, we don't want you to be one of those people. We want you
Yeah.
up there with the fucking 30K game, man.
Yeah.
Easy. What are some of the main problems that people face? Like, how would you describe your biggest bottlenecks in closing right now? So, Joshua, sorry, Hayden, once. You sell BizOp info product. Is that like the business model that you sell, or is that like you mean you're in the info product space?
So primarily it's BizOp, helping people start up their own businesses, online businesses through
Okay,
AI
cool.
messaging.
Cool. Thought so. Okay. Go on, Hayden. What were you going to say?
I thought you were asking me what the biggest problems of this offer were. You're
Everyone,
asking everyone.
what
Yeah.
is the biggest problems that everyone faces in closing now? What would you say is the biggest reason that most of you just aren't where you want to be? And if you lie to me, then it just means you're lying to yourself, FYI.
Talking too much. I talk too much and play the nice guy, and it's not fair on me or the prospects. Another one with the offer that I'm on as well is show rate. I'm proactively trying to increase it just to make my life a little bit better, but biz up, I guess.
What do you mean you talk too much?
I talk too much. I need to learn to just shut the fuck up because less is more. If I've asked a question, don't carry on. It doesn't hit the same after rambling after. It's just not good.
Okay. Why not just shut the fuck up then?
I know. I get that, bro. I get that. Fair point.
If that's what you know you need to do, then sometimes the simple no, but quite honestly, to short, sweet, keep it simple, stupid. That's why that saying is so famous because like the shorter you keep it, the less likely you are to fall in like rabbit holes of continuous questions and questions and questions and more doubt. Because
Yeah.
the biggest thing that I see what for a lot of beginner closers is if a prospect asks a question in a buy-in phase. So like let's say you're in how many of you guys have actually done this where you get to the end of a conversation, they start asking like program-based questions or just logistical questions and stuff like that. You over explain the question or you try and convince them through the answer, and then all that happens is it spirals into more questions and then creates more avoidance.
Yeah.
Those are something that I honestly call avoidance questions. because they can feel the tension of a decision coming up, more than likely they're just trying to avoid the decision by asking more questions. So in that moment, the best thing you can do for yourself is keep the answers as short as possible. How can I provide the most value in a short answered question, in a short answer, basically? Because
Yeah.
otherwise you'll spiral into more questions that are just causing more avoidance. And then you end up in a loophole and it's like, well, thanks for lots to think about, lots of information. I need to go away and just maybe digest this or look at this and see what I can do with it.
Yeah.
All that kind of BS. So like the biggest thing you can do for yourself is just keep it nice, short, simple. Okay.
Yeah. Quality.
We'll have a look at that anyway. We're going to do some call reviews as well. So if somebody wants to put the balls on the table, oh shit. If somebody wants to put the balls on the table and share a call view, that would be massively appreciated. And it's not just for me. There you go, Joshua. Good lad. Love it. What I did wanted to share as well is like as we're coming up to like 2026, obviously, we're in Christmas now, things may have been slowing down. The easiest thing you can do is sell yourself so heavily on the fact that everything's going wrong instead of actually managing your emotions respectfully and realizing that you still have the opportunity to do whatever the fuck you want to do. So let me go through this for 2 seconds. Short and sweet. Like I said, I'm not going to sell you anything at all. The biggest thing you can do to win for yourself in 2026 is lead by example. Does anybody know what I mean by when I say that?
You do the hard things first.
Give me an example. Why? Why is it important to do those things?
So that you can help walk others through how you were able to do it.
Very good. Give me some examples of things that you do in your own life that you would like to reflect to your prospects.
Invest in myself, work out.
Very good. Anything else?
Live up to your word. If you're going to do something, fucking do it.
Love that.
Overcoming fear.
Why do we think that's actually so important, though?
Increases the value of what you're saying.
True. Very good.
There's belief behind it.
Good. Even more
Love-
conviction. Go on, Graham.
I was going to say conviction, yeah. Like
See?
if you can do it, then it rubs off on the prospects and they can see that it's actually tangible.
Perfect. Very good. Second thing, what I want you to focus on, aggression to your outcomes. Do you know what I mean when I say this? So, okay. Sometimes it's very easy to go through day by day, and just, oh shit, there's people in the waiting room a minute. It's easy to go through the day-to-days and quickly forget what's actually important to you. So let's say you have 3 calls that don't show up, you have 5 calls that don't show up. It's so easy to focus on the bad things, on the negative things that are going wrong in that situation, instead of realizing this is what's important to me. What actions can I take instead that are actually going to benefit me getting towards that outcome? Okay. The speed in which way you act, right? I say that because within 3 months of closing, I'd already invested like 13 grand and I didn't even have 30 grand, right? But it's just the speed in which I wanted to get to the point where I was making the money I wanted to. So by month 4, I was already making like 20 grand a month consistently. Then a couple of months down the line, I was making 50 grand a month. So like your aggression to how aggressive you are to the work, to the mentality, to the attitude that you want to get there, that will serve you so much in closing. Because I see people move like fucking snails, whether it's investing, whether it's getting on calls, whether it's just they leave an offer and then they delay it for like maybe a week or 2 weeks and maybe just sit around doing nothing. Your outcomes, your why should matter more to you than anything in sales, because that aggression towards that outcome will take you so much further. Okay. So that's something to bear in mind, because some people, I see them move way too fucking slow. Oh shit, there's still people in the waiting room. What does this one say? I can't see it because I've got the thing up. Can someone else see it?
Stop selling yourself on your limitations.
Perfect. Thank you, bro. What do I mean by this?
There's always going to be reasons why that we can't do them, but then we're the first person to justify why we actually can't do it, and it's a protective survival instinct thing. But you need to actually just push through that.
Perfect. Why is it important to be able to not do this? I think it kind of aligns with the first one that we went through.
Because it's the same thing that everyone else go throughout the calls. So if you're being able to sell that to yourself, then you'll be able to tell that to anybody else.
Very good. Love it. And you sell bathrooms and kitchens.
Yeah.
What a beast. Very good, bro. Perfect. No, that's a good point, right? The more you try and sell yourself and your own limitations, it'll be much more difficult for you to help other prospects overcome theirs, because they'll be full of them, right? No matter how good of a discovery you do, the real version of them will always expose themselves towards the end of the conversation. Always, every single time. Whether you like it or not, you can do the best discovery in the world, but the real version of them will always be exposed towards the end of the call, when it's time to make a decision. So like we can't focus on our limitations because it's only going to put obstacles in between us and where we want to go. So that's important. Intentions behind your questions. This is something that I developed a little bit later on in my career, but it served me extremely well once I actually understood what I was doing and why I was doing it. So does anybody kind of have any words to say about this, or does anybody know what I mean by this?
I mean, asking a question with a desired answer in mind.
It's like if you're going to challenge a prospect, right? If you're going to try and push a prospect out of their own way, what is your intention behind it? If you're going to objection handle a prospect with questions, what is your actual intention behind it? Is it to actually get the sale or to help them realize that what their way of thinking is not supporting them? That's what your intention should be. So every time that you ask a question, it should come with crystal clear intentions and like why you're asking it and what is the purpose and what do you want out of it? Because it's easy to just, I don't know, does anybody here read off a script?
No.
Thank fuck for that. So somebody might do in here, but like when you just read scripted questions, I never used a script ever because it felt false and I had no reason to even ask the question. So it's every intention that you ask the question, every intention behind your objection handle is what matters most. Am I actually here to get this person out of their own way, or am I doing it for the benefit of myself? So your intentions behind everything that you do are so fucking important. This is a good one as well. I see this a lot, and this is even with people I work with as well. So I'm not even just saying it's people outside. I've seen it within people that I work with, and it actually annoys me that people behave this way. Does anybody know what I mean when I say this? What do you think it means, Grant? Go on.
Yeah, so for example,
No, go for it, bro. Go for it, yeah.
no, you go ahead, Grant. I'm one of the students. You go ahead. It wouldn't be fair of me.
Oh, okay. Taking control as in almost making the sales call about you, like rubbing off your own experiences, or I'm guessing here. Yeah, kind of you trying to steal frame when it's actually about them.
No, this isn't about a sales call, by the way. Fair answer, but it's not about a sales call.
Not sure.
Cool. Taking control of your situation, right? I see it so many times when people they get removed off an offer. Okay, let me elaborate on why this is important. So when I first started out in closing, there was nobody to really help me. Like nobody. When I was stuck in a room for 6 months, closing back to back, nobody was really there to actually help me. But every time that I faced like a negative in my situation, like my situation turned bad, it was my ability to go through that experience and take control of my situation instead of relying on somebody else. So like a lot of people, they will invest in a mentor and they will be like, hey, it's your responsibility to get me to where I want to go. That's not my fucking job. My job is to support you through it and actually do everything that I can to pour into you and make sure you have the success you want. It's not my job to take control of your situation. So for example, if somebody doesn't have an offer for like a week or they get offboarded and off an offer and they just sit around waiting saying, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? That is not actually going to help you become a better entrepreneur at all. Your ability to understand that your situation is not serving you and taking control of it and doing something about it, that is what's going to fucking help you so much more. Because every time that I see closers that come from a bad experience in life and they took control of that situation, they tend to be the best quality closers I've ever seen, ever. Every single time. And I know that because I've been one. Somebody that's come from a bad experience took control of the situation and come out on the other end. And again, it's leading by example. So if your situation is off, but you decide to do nothing about it, decide it's somebody else's responsibility, how in control, how much do you feel aligned with being able to challenge a prospect on that? Not really, because you actively pursue it in your own life. Does that make sense when I say that? So it's your ability to take control of your life because your outcomes. This is the same way I approach a partner objection as well. They are your outcomes. It's your responsibility to take control of your situation. What are you going to do about it? You're going to ask your wife, okay, well, let me ask you this. How is our life designed? How would you say our life is designed, Grant?
Oof. How would you say our life is designed?
How is your life designed? What is your life designed by?
My beliefs, my outcomes, my decision-making
Exactly.
process.
Your decisions, right?
Yeah.
And in my mind, the wife or the partner hasn't been around for their whole point of making decisions. And every decision that they've made has led them to exactly where they are today. So it's within their responsibility or level of ownership to actually start taking control of their situation and making decisions to change it. Because if the decisions that are a design of our life, then every decision you've made is exactly why you're here, why you're here. So who has to make the same decisions to finally change it? Does that make sense when I say that? That is my exact thought process. That's your ability to take control of your life because you made those fucking decisions and you will continue to make those decisions alone. Sorry, that was a bit of a rant, but there we go. You with me on that? I've not just started blowing smoke up my own ass. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Easy. And then I'll cut that here because that's pretty much it on that one, I believe. Managing your emotions. I made a YouTube video on this, so if you want to go through that, that's it's pretty powerful stuff that actually, but it's just like how I maintain my emotions despite how I feel, what's happening in the moment, and how I make sure I control my state to have the best level of success. So there is a YouTube video you can go and watch on that. Let's round it off. One of my favorite sayings: somebody's got your fucking money, so you better go and fucking get it. Easy. Set the motherfucking standard. So that's what the group's about. Okay. Any questions on that? Or are we all okay? Just here for the value. Just here for the value. Easy. Cool. Right. So who wants to go first? And let's have a look at this. Has anyone got any questions, by the way?
Yeah, I have a quick question, please, my good friend.
Go for it, bro.
So I just got off a call with a guy who he's a sales consultant, yeah. And I'm gonna openly admit I was being a bitch when it came to challenging him towards the end. But I want to overcome that my own like limitations. I don't know why when I hear somebody's in sales, I'm just like, oh, they know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to leave it like. But I need to stop being a bitch. So basically, just yeah, looking for some advice on that.
They're in
How, and I'll say one more thing as well. I feel like sometimes when it comes to like older prospects and like guys that are doing well for themselves or whatever, I don't know why I feed myself that bullshit because I know it's just a limiting belief. I just get in my own head when it comes to challenging them a bit, and it's not good.
Well,
So like,
what are you challenging them? See this again. This is what I'm saying with your intentions behind your questions. This is important, right? What's your intention of challenging him? Because the way he's thinking now, he's not supporting him. So like even if he is in sales, the reason in which why I'm challenging him is to help him see things from a different perspective, so he can then receive the success that he's not yet. Does that make sense? So
yeah.
it's like what is your intention behind challenging? Why did you decide to? What was your point in challenging him in the first place?
Obviously, yeah, to help him.
But like what was your point in challenging him? Like what was his problem?
She gave me the research due diligence objection
Why did you want to challenge him on that?
because he's not going to gain any more certainty. Like he's already watched the videos and everything. He knows what he needs to do. He's just not doing it.
But
for
why
whatever.
why do you feel like he needed to do it?
Because if he stays in that way of thinking, he's never going to bite the bullet and make a decision that's actually going to help him.
But what does he receive on the end of help?
More money, more freedom.
Freedom in what way?
Because right now he feels very like trapped in his consultant business. Like he's always got clients to answer to and stuff. So I know a big thing for him, he said, was like peace of mind. Just, yeah, actually feeling like he has a business rather than like a job.
Okay. And how long has he felt that way before?
He said he's been doing it for a year.
Okay. A year. Does he feel like that's a long time?
Yeah, he did say that, to be fair.
Why did he say that? Why did he feel like it was a long time?
I probably didn't go deep enough into that, to be fair.
Well, it's a good question. Why do you feel like that's a long time?
You're saying I should have asked him that?
Yeah, why do you feel like, well, if you asked him, it's how long have you felt that way, or how long have you been aware of that? Or how long have you been looking into something like this? Yeah, okay. Feels like a bit, is that a long time for you? Yeah, it is actually. What makes you say that? Because in the year I could have accomplished much more. How much more do you think you could have accomplished? What do you think prevented you within the first year that kind of has you here now today, to where we're only now changing it? So when you say research, are you looking for a reason to do it or not to do it? Because like whatever you're looking for is exactly what you'll find. And I think even for the past year, you've kind of been looking reasons not to do something, even though you know your situation is actually off. So at what point does more research just become a polite way of procrastination instead of actually realizing how much more time we can waste before we realize the decision that's already been made? Grant's laughing because he's like, fuck.
Nice.
Yeah, you're right, bro.
The research objection is pretty simple. It's do you know why I do that? There's you when you say more research, are you looking for a reason to do it or not to do it? Do you know why I do that?
Um, to get them to admit that they're just looking for an easy way out.
Well, no, it gets the buy-in to like their outcomes, right? Because they'll probably say, well, a reason to do it. That's more than likely what they should be saying, right? A reason to do it. Well, then you can roll into like a second discovery. Well, why do you want to do it though, right? Because the easiest thing you could do is just pass this on. You could go away, do more research, look for some potential reasons why it doesn't work or why it shouldn't work, and then continue overwhelming yourself in the same position that you've been in for like the past year. So why would you even want to find reasons to do it? Because it's difficult. And then he'll convince himself and reframe himself on like why he actually wants to do it. And he just brings back up those emotions to kind of keep the getting conversation engaged.
Yeah, it's making a lot of sense.
What did you say when he said I want to do more research?
Bro, it was a bit of a blur. Like I didn't even challenge him too hard, and like it was just stupid. Like if that was another person, I don't know why I got in my head. Like if I was another person, I would have called him out on it. But just because subconsciously I knew he was in sales and shit, I don't know why I just didn't challenge, which is just poor.
Sometimes if they're in sales, it's like you can ask the questions, but in a way of showing them that you're not a retard. Do you know what I mean by that?
Can you elaborate?
So cool. Now, we actually did a role play with Emma with this on the other day, by the way. I know you're actually in sales, and this question will actually make sense, but you also know that there's a reason why I ask. So for you, for example, if we keep operating from a place of scarcity because we're scared of making the wrong decision, what's the likelihood that you'll actually get to the point where you completely remove yourself from the business and stop feeling like overwhelmed and you can take that peace of mind? What's the likelihood you'll get to that point? Okay. Now, again, I know you're in sales and this is actually going to make sense, but it's also an important question. If this way of thinking continues and we look a year down the line, you become even more overwhelmed, how do you think you would actually feel at that point? Would that be a concern to you? Yes. How come? So you see how important it is that we have these sales conversations because it brings awareness to the situation that we might not have seen in the past.
So do you think that's useful then? Like just loading up before going into the question. Like, I know you're in sales, make a little joke out of it or something like that, and then just hit him with it.
It depends. So like, don't let it.
Just get into my head for no
Yeah,
reason.
exactly. What the fuck are you getting in your head for? Like it's completely pointless. I would only bring it up. I would just disregard it and then bring it up down the line when you're actually when you're asking a hard hitting question that he's probably going to cause resistance to. So I want to limit the resistance as much as I can. Because then if I bring it up earlier in the conversation, all that will happen is it will create that friction of me actually asking proper questions when I want to disregard it until the point of am I asking an obvious question that's probably going to cause resistance, but I want to take away that resistance. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to leave it until that point.
The end, yeah. It makes a lot of sense. Thank you, bro.
Easy. Go on, Josh.
There was something, we had a guest speaker in STS a while ago who gave me a new perspective. Maybe I can share this with you, bro. Because it goes to intentions and state before the call. Like Kurt's done a whole video on this on YouTube. But like, are you having a little bit of fear when you're speaking to that person? Like, because they've got whatever?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
I think subconsciously, if I'm being real, probably.
So hear this, right? What's your intention behind that? To help them?
Yeah.
Why are you scared to help somebody?
Yeah, that's real.
So, like, genuinely, does that make sense? Before any call, what I like to do is just kind of shake myself off a little bit, mentally check in, see how I'm feeling. If that I've got any kind of negativity around helping someone, because that's the intention of the sales call, find out where that is, move around a bit, get rid of it. Because think of that genuinely. Why am I a pussy to help someone?
Yeah, that's real. I appreciate that, bro.
Any kind of negativity around that. Why am I X when I'm trying to help someone? That's going to get you out of your head immediately because it's stupid, right? It's actually stupid. I think everyone here can agree with that. So yeah. Why am I scared to help someone? Why am I nervous to help someone? How should I be to help someone? If I met someone on the street, if it was my son, daughter, girlfriend, whatever. But yeah, that was from a guest speaker in STS. It was a good one. Anyway, sorry, Kurt. I just thought that was helpful.
Oh,
Appreciate
okay.
you, bro. Appreciate you.
Let me raise something. Let me just kind of put something out there in terms of like how powerful aggression is to your outcomes. There's a gentleman in here who I met recently in person. Might be a little bit shorter than I expected, but like that's regardless anyway. So, for example, Ismail, how old are you?
18.
How much did you make last month?
Like 38,000 this month.
Dollars?
USD.
Okay. How aggressive are you to like what you want?
It's very aggressive.
Why?
I know what I want.
How many of you feel like you're actually aggressive enough to where you want to go? Like genuinely, like if you think about it on a day-to-day basis, how aggressive are you actually towards it? Do you get up with like that mentality every single day and you're like, you know what, I'm so pissed off I am not making enough money. I'm so fucking pissed. Like, how is somebody out there driving a Ferrari? I'm not. Who operates from that mentality? Genuinely, like, because like if you think about it, right? I know this sounds silly, but it actually doesn't, we don't think about it enough. Every single day I wake up with the mentality of there's only one time I will ever get to run around on this planet. Ever. How the fuck can I go through life and not live a life of full expectations of what I want for myself? How can I not accomplish that? There's somebody out there has accomplished exactly what I want. So why the fuck am I in my own way to not go and accomplish it? I will wake up with that mentality every single day. I will wake up with a mentality every single day of I'm so fucking afraid of ever being going back to broke. I will operate from both mentalities because both drive me exactly where I need to go. I'm shit scared of ever going back to the point where I was broke and I could not afford anything. I had to get a loan to invest in my first program. I'll wake up with that fear every single day and it still drives me now. No matter how much money I make, I will operate from that place every single day. So when our prospects come into my conversations, I instill that exact same belief into them because I know how important it is to be able to accomplish those things. So the reason I called Ismail out there is because I know for a fact some of you are nowhere near as aggressive as Ismail. You're just not. And I work with Ismail closely as well on a personal level. So I know how aggressive he is in a person. So I just wanted to raise that as well. Because I know for a fact most of you guys can win. And if you're not winning now, it is only your fault. But I want you to know that you can win. Just stop standing in your own fucking way. Okay? Deal? That deal, Grant? Good lad.
It's a deal, brother. It's a deal.
Easy. Right. Joshua, my good friend, where are you?
I'm here.
Good lad. So this is a biz op for infra
Yeah.
products.
I say info products, but yeah, essentially it's helping people just make money online with their own online business.
Okay, what's the problem with this call?
So this prospect had had quite a lot of fear, and I was trying to lead him in a direction to overcome it. In the end, he gave me an objection that I felt like I couldn't overcome without causing more friction. Or essentially making him run away, and that was the time aspect. He gave me like a time objection. So in the end, I just took a deposit from him, but I felt like I probably could have done more to try and get him to actually invest in it. But then again,
what the fuck's a time objection?
So he works 12 to 13 hours a day. I think he said 6 days a week.
Do you know how many hours I used to work in my 9 to 5?
How many?
14 hours a day. Do you know what they didn't stop me from doing?
Chasing your goals.
Closing. Didn't stop me from closing. Didn't stop me from taking sales calls. So like this is why I'm saying like your beliefs are so important in sales. It's like what you believe to be true, and you pour that into other people. Because time should never be an excuse, ever. Because you're either in control. Your time, time either controls your outcomes or you control it. Which one do you perceive? Which one is true for you? Time controls my outcomes. So what's the likelihood you'll actually get to the point that you want to if time always controls your goals? I won't. So what do you think needs to change within you so that you can actually start finally accomplishing the things you want? Is it about the time that you don't have or the time that you're actually prioritizing towards where you want to go? Which one is it? Who's going to operate as the best entrepreneur? The one that focuses on what he doesn't have or the one that focuses on how he can change things to adapt to his situation? Okay, so which entrepreneur do you want to be? Any more objections? Any more time objections? Anything else? So you want to change the mentality of like their outcomes, right? I don't know what you did with this guy. What did you do with this guy?
I just took a deposit, and he's gonna actually sign up fully next year, which is a bit annoying.
But by next year though, like what if he could accomplish everything he wants within this year? How does he know he couldn't do that?
I guess because he doesn't feel like he has the time.
Okay, but here's the thing, right? I'm going to give you an absolute diamond of a way of thinking that's going to help your objection handling. The way I objection handle, right? If they need to think about making a decision, what do you think is going to happen when they come inside the program? If I let them go away, think about it for a week, and then come back next week and then make a decision, what's going to happen?
They'll get cold feet again their own way.
When? No. Let's say they enroll, right?
Okay.
Let's say they enroll, but they took a week to think about it. What do you think is going to happen every time that they pursue the program?
Wait, sorry, I'm confused. So they've enrolled and then they're taking a week to think about what?
So let's say, right, they give you a think about it objection.
Okay.
Right? Now, a week later, they officially enroll, but that's because they had some time to think about it.
Oh.
Now they're in the program, but because they still have that belief of the time and distance that they want to make decisions are based upon,
Yeah.
how do you think that's going to affect them inside the program?
Well, they'll be slow to make decisions and stuff.
Perfect. See, there you go. So when you're objection handling, what you want to do is you want to completely reframe this belief, this way of thinking, take away this pattern so that their likelihood of success is improved dramatically because you've taken away this way of thinking that keeps them stuck. Because if they have to think about it on the outside, then they'll also have to think about big decisions when they come inside the program. So let's say if yours, for example, an info product, if they have to scale the business, if they put time and distance between having to make a decision, then their competitors will already be 10 steps ahead and they're still left behind. So when people want to think about it, that's usually a pattern. If people want to delay a decision based on time, then that's a pattern, right? That's keeping them stuck. So how do I get them out of this way of thinking, this pattern of objections or these limitations, sorry, so that when they come inside the program, they're more primed for success. So that's what I'm talking about. This is how you help people. Because objections and beliefs are patterns. So how do we break these patterns so that when they come inside my program, they have more success? You with me?
Yeah, I'm with
Does that make sense, Grant?
Yeah.
Grant looks like he's looking all over each other. This guy's either spitting garbage or he's spitting.
I wouldn't say garbage, but no, I think it's really fucking good, to be honest. Yeah.
That's how you help people. Genuinely.
Wait,
I
so
know.
what's the question that you would ask? What makes you want to put time and distance between this?
So what would be the objection?
See, I just try and make it funny. I'm like, maybe let me know your thoughts on this, but if somebody was to give me that as like, it's like the fat person saying they're going to put 10 kg on over December and start the gym in January. Should they start the gym now or should they just put the weight on? And then they laugh and say that, and then I try and reframe them a little bit way. But with what you just said, it's
Well, that's a pattern interrupt, right? Because they're not expecting it. So it's still good in itself because it's a pattern interrupt because it creates humor. That's still good in itself, but then it's like what you do afterwards that will kind of dictate the sale. It's like how much are you going to leverage that way of thinking?
Yeah.
So that is not a bad thing to say. I'm not going to say it's the best thing ever, but it's like not a bad thing to say because it's like a pattern interrupt that lowers the resistance in the moment because you've got to remember they're likely in fight or flight. So the more humor you can bring into your calls is way better. Like I'm very humorous inside my calls and bring a lot of personality because people will buy into me throughout the discovery and they'll start trusting me more and more and more. And by the time we get to objections, they 100% trust me.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Go on, Nikki. What was you going to say? Sorry.
I was just going to say, so would you actually ask them the question, what makes you want to put some time and distance between this?
Well, what's the actual objection?
Like if they say that they need to think about it or do more research.
How do you know? How do you know? How do you know
That's
that's what, how do you know that's what you need to do?
Okay. Do you want me to like answer that?
Go for it.
Okay, let me just think.
Because that in itself is like a pattern interrupt, right? It's like, how do you know? And they actually don't know.
Well, sometimes they'll just be like, well, that was just like a lot of information and I just don't want to make a quick decision.
Sure.
So,
Okay, that's fine. Can I make a suggestion?
sure.
What is it that makes you feel like it might be a quick decision based on the past year that you've been hoping something would kind of play out.
Maybe just a quick decision in this company because I just found you guys like a couple weeks ago.
See? Is it about us or is it about the conversation that you keep having with yourself about the ability to be able to change the situation that you're in? Which one do you feel like it is? See there, she's putting all the responsibility on like the program instead of the conversation she keeps having with herself or himself.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to bring awareness to that because it's not about you just finding us. We are irrelevant. It's you that matters the most.
Yeah.
Because if it was
That's
free, if they were free, if it was free, they would do it, right? Even if they had just met us today. So they're putting too much weight on the program instead of the responsibility of like the situation that they're in and what they've not been doing for like X amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why I'm big on time frames, by the way. I'm huge on time frames at the start of the call. How long they've been problem aware, how long they've wanted for something, and then how long they've been in X situation. Because if I have all those things, every single objection, stuff like that at the end, then becomes a little bit irrelevant. Because now I know it's not about us, it's about you and what you've not had the ability to change so far. You with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you have to be very subtle with that. You can't just combat it. You have to slowly integrate, like play that into the conversation and help them realize that it's not about us, it's about the conversation that you keep having in your ability to be able to make a decision that's going to benefit you. Okay.
Thank you.
So let's say they give you a think about it, right? Usually I'll ask, it depends, honestly, there's so many ways that I'll go with it, but let's say they give you a think about it. That's fine, right? Do you actually feel like this can help though, Nikki? This role play with me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. You think so? What do you think's
Well, yeah,
behind that?
the last $25,000 investment that I thought would help, I also felt very aligned with, and I thought that was also really going to help me, but it didn't.
Okay. That's fine though, but this is completely different, right? What did you learn from that experience?
Well, a lot, but I mean, I'm continuing to move forward, so I'm not letting it stop me.
See, that's good. That's really good. Why don't you want to let anything stop you? Because most people, what they like to do is they have a bad experience and they seem to associate every decision moving forward with that previous experience. But what do you think happens to those people that just hold on to that sour taste? What do you think happens to those people?
Yeah, they just quit and settle.
Okay. Well, you don't want to do that, I'm guessing.
That's right.
How come?
That's just not who I am.
There you go. See, that's
yeah.
good. I actually like that a lot, and I can see that within you. So, with everything that we've done here, do you actually feel like this can help you? I know you asked that earlier, but do you actually feel like it can? I know there's no crystal ball. I know that for sure, Nikki, but like based on everything that you've seen, do you actually feel like it can help?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Why? What is the most standout thing to you that makes you feel like, you know what, this is different and it can actually help me this time around?
I guess just what I've seen in your content and the one-on-one support.
Okay. And you having the ability to have that one-to-one support, what difference do you think that would finally make for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm hoping that that would be the thing that helps
Whoa,
get
whoa,
me.
whoa, 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 whoa. Careful, right? You see about the way we speak about our situation and the things we want to accomplish. Do you think the person that accomplishes the things you want, do you think they say hope, or do you think they're fully committed and concrete on what they want and how they're going to get there?
Yeah, that's true. It's just that, like you said, there's no certainty.
Sure, and that's fine, right? But that's what's going to create you into the best closer there is out there. Because you don't rely on certainty, you create it yourself. You don't wait for certainty, you are the person that is certain in herself and what she can accomplish, right? So you actually having that final one-to-one support that's going to give you everything that you need, what difference would that finally make for you?
Yeah, I think it'd be somebody who can actually give me personalized feedback.
Well, what difference would it make to you, though? To your outcomes?
It would help me succeed.
There you go. And how important is it for you, Nikki, to finally step into the version of her higher best self and actually have the success that she knows she deserves?
Yeah, it's the most important thing.
Cool. Okay. So then what I'm doing there is you've mentioned to think about it, but now I'm actually going back into everything. And then there's like a sequence, right? Do you feel like that can help? Yes. What difference do you feel like that would make? And how important is it for you to finally step into that version of you? So there, what I'm doing is I'm testing the waters of bringing the motions back up and how my ability to go for the close again. Or if I still, because for you, for example, you still had a lot of uncertain language, which I would personally tackle. But for this, for example, then if I still feel like she's using uncertain language, okay, let me explain why. So I would then maybe go into, okay, so what's behind you wanting to maybe put time and distance between you and what you want to accomplish? So that's where I would use that for your question before. What is it that's making what's behind you wanting to put time and distance between you and what you want to accomplish? So that's where I would use that, right? But what I also want to be careful of is the reason I use that sequence before is because I can attest like the emotional strength behind how committed she actually is to this. And I would completely disregard the think about it that she just gave me 3 minutes ago. And I would just move on. But if I still feel like she's using uncertain language, then I would ask what's behind that. Because I know she's likely going to say, I want to think about it again. Okay. Is the brain ticking or are you thinking this guy's a dumbass?
No, my brain is ticking. No, it's really, really helpful. Really good.
You sure? What do you sell?
So right now I'm on an offer where it's a coach that was a functional health doctor, and now she's helping other functional health doctors become coaches online.
Okay. Do you know what's really powerful about that?
What?
So there's a level of congruency there that you have to play into your calls, right? So Ismail, do you wanna role play that out? So an example of what I mean by that.
Go ahead.
So the congruency part, though, so your prospects basically want to do online coaching or they want to help other people in some way.
Yeah, no, the prospects are doctors who are working all these hours in person practice, and they want to have an online practice instead.
Okay, how come? What's like the main driver for it? I know obviously they're overworking themselves and stuff like that. So
Yeah, and the money, like a lot of I don't know, a lot of these people are capped out around like 200K a year.
okay, and they raise that as a concern as well, like they're pretty open and vulnerable about it.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So what I'm getting at is Ismail might play it out with you. Let's see what Ismail does here, because this is what I usually do. There's a level of congruency that you can put into the calls as well.
All right. So just give the objection. I'll just go from there then.
Go on, give me the objection. Yeah, Nikki, go on.
Oh, okay. Let me think of the last person. Yeah, well, I kind of was role playing as the last woman that I spoke to. She said, well, I already invested in a year-long mastermind and I'm paying $1,500 a month and I'm 6 months into it and I've gotten not much help at all from this woman. She just expects me to ask questions. So I'm just a little hesitant as to, whether I want to invest in something else right now. And
Okay. And I guess the people that are coming to you, what are they expected to do?
sorry, say that one more time.
The people that are coming to you, what are you expecting from them?
Sorry, am I pretending like I'm somebody else or are you asking me, Nikki?
The prospect. No, you're the prospect. Stay as the prospect.
Okay, stay as the prospect.
So
So
like, because you mentioned that okay, take this off the rope. Like your offer is they're also coming to the person to invest into them as well, correct? Like the doctor they were talking to, they're also coming and investing into them
yeah, as a business coach to
as
help
a
them.
business coach.
Mhm.
So I'm saying, so the clients that go to you, now this is back to the role play. Like, okay, the clients that are coming to you, what are you expecting from them? Are you expecting them to also invest into you, or are you expecting them just to kind of waste your time and
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely to
Okay.
invest in me.
Okay. And then if a client came to you saying they had a bad experience in the past, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that you can't quit from one bad experience in the past.
So then what are you telling yourself? Because let's look at it this way. If you're telling your clients one thing, but you're doing something different, is that a good reflection of the coach you want to be?
No, it's not.
Because it's fine. Like we can go down that path and you can be that coach, but what happens if we continue to hold on these beliefs as a current coach and we expect something different from our clients?
Yeah,
What does that lead into?
Yeah, incongruency.
What does that mean though? Because I know that's a sexy word, but what does it actually mean?
Yeah, no, it just means like, if I want people to invest in me regardless of their past, then I need to be able to do that for myself.
Okay. Because it's easy to say one thing, right? It's easy to just say I'm going to be congruent with myself. But like for yourself in this current moment, what do you actually know that you have to do for yourself? Not for me, right? Because whether you do this or not, like there's a red button in the corner, you can leave by all means. But like for clients to actually buy into you as a person, to actually know Nikki is the person I want to invest into, what do you have to do for yourself? Genuinely. And don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what you know you need to do.
Yeah, no, I have to be brave and be a leader.
Do you believe you are?
Yeah, that's why I'm here on this call.
No, like genuinely though, like again, anybody can sign up on this call. Like, do you genuinely believe you are brave? You're actually capable. You actually believe you're capable of actually taking your clients from where they're at to where they want to go.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you want people to believe in you?
Yes.
And you believe in yourself?
Yes.
Okay. So if we believe in ourselves, you want clients to believe in you, and you also want to show them by example what to properly do. What's the proper decision you make for yourself so that congruency lays off to your prospects, or it lays off to your clients? I mean,
yeah, no, you're right. It'd be to take action.
it's not about me being right, because if I'm right, that means you're wrong. I want us to be on the same page here.
Yeah. Yeah, I get where you're going. I guess I'm just like a little scared.
Okay. Are you expecting not to be scared? Like, do you think this was supposed to be easy?
No.
Because if it was easy, would that be the right step for you to take? If this was an easy step for you to just throw money at this again, would that actually feel like it's the right decision, or would that feel like almost it's too good to be true?
Yeah, I guess too good to be true.
Again, you say I guess like you're saying it for me. Say it for yourself, Nikki.
Okay.
All right, we can pause here.
Yeah. Even
Okay.
see, do you see the point though? Do you see where he's going with that, the congruency level?
Yeah.
Another good thing as well is it's like you mentioned, so you've been burnt, you've sort of paying something off, right? So let's take your client, for example, or your prospect. So you've been burnt in the past. Okay. Can I ask you a question about maybe some of your clients that maybe have come to you in the past? You'll say,
Yeah.
yeah, cool. Have they ever come to you and raised a concern that they're already taking a specific medicine that a previous doctor had given them,
Yeah.
but they also know it's not actually?
Yeah. When people come to me, they feel like they've tried a bunch of different doctors. So yeah.
There you go. And in that moment, when they raise the concerns to you, they're a little bit nervous around making another decision with a different doctor because of the previous experiences. How would you usually approach that conversation? Because your main intention is there to help them through it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I just tell them, at the end of the day, they're going to have to just trust me and take a leap of faith
There you go. Why do you do that though?
because I believe in myself that I can help them.
Okay. But more importantly, it's because you want to be able to help people through their own fears and help them experience the life that they actually want to live so they can feel healthy and in control of their life, right?
Yeah.
So if you feel like that's what you want from other people, then what do you feel like you might have to do first, despite the previous experiences that you've already had?
Yeah. I'm going to have to do that myself.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
Easy.
like, see the medicine thing, right? Because see how you can relate specific experiences to your prospects.
Yeah.
The medicine thing one's really good because you mentioned you've invested in something in the past, but I know for a fact that other clients have come to your doctors and definitely invested in medicine that's not actually helped them, and they're sick and tired of investing in medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Nikki's getting cooked.
She's not. She's not. This is good, right?
I love it. I love it. I really do.
She did say she was going to put her balls on the table, so fair
I
fucks.
did. I'm the only girl here putting my balls on the table.
No, that's good though, right? Does that help? Does that help you see things from a different perspective now?
Extremely helpful. Thank you.
Okay, very good. You should be able to take some wins away from that, and obviously we'll send you this to kind of relay it as well. Okay.
Great.
Perfect. Sweet. Anyone else want to put the balls on the table? Anyone dare? Michael Liu, I see you hiding away.
No, I'm still setting, so I'm just listening to get more.
Still? What are you doing
Yeah.
still setting?
I tried closing for a couple months, but didn't turn out well, so I
What
went
do you
back
mean
to
you
setting.
tried? How do you try closing? You can only you a closer, you don't.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't do well, so I went back to setting.
Was that because it was the easiest decision or because you had to?
I wasn't able to find another offer. So yeah, setting was an easy way out, to be honest.
Okay. Is that actually going to help you get to where you want to go though?
No,
Is that leading by example?
no.
Okay. Why would you say no?
I know I want to be a closer.
Okay. So if you know that's what you want to be, then what are we still doing settling for something that's not actually helping us?
Not being
Is that what-
Resourceful.
Okay. Why aren't we being resourceful? Because what do you expect from your prospects when they're not in a position of resources? We
Good
want them to-
question.
we want them to become resourceful, right?
Right.
But how can we do that if we don't lead by example?
Right.
So you've got to ask yourself, is your current standards or your current way of operating, is that a real reflection of like you as a person, or do you feel like you're capable of much more?
Definitely capable of much more.
There we go. And I believe that to be true too, because you wouldn't be on this conversation with me. You genuinely wouldn't. You wouldn't have even reached out for the help. Right? So what can we change? What can we do differently after this conversation to show ourselves that we are resourceful, we are capable, and we can actually accomplish more than we're experiencing right now? What are we going to change?
Stop choosing the easy way out
Good.
and find ways to become closer.
Good. How are we going to do that though? Because again, it's trying, right? We tried in the past and that didn't work out.
Right.
So instead of using that verbiage or that language of just try, what can we do differently this time around? How can we speak to ourselves differently so that we know that things are going to change this time?
That's a good question. I don't actually know how to answer you straight. Like,
This is usually what happens in my sales calls as well. People are like, I have no idea what to do this conversation. I actually need to go and really think about who I am as a person. But genuinely, like it's like instead of trying, how about what if we could commit to something instead? Commit to being a better version of ourselves, right? Commit to being the person that is capable of making the money that we want to. Be more in control of our situation and realize this isn't serving me. So how about I take more commitment and become a better person instead? Yeah.
right.
That isn't me to cook you. It's to help you realize that what you're doing now is not going to help you. And I want you to get out your own way because in sales, this goes to all of you. It changed my life. It changed Ismail's life. It probably changed all of your life so far. There's probably more money than you've ever made before. Maybe, right? But it's also realizing that this isn't where you're going to finish up. So what can I do to take control of my situation and show myself that I am genuinely capable of more? Okay. Good lad, Michael. Appreciate you engaging in that, by the way, bro.
Thank you.
No worries, my man. Easy, right? Any questions on anything so far? Or are we diving into me man Joshua's call?
I think I might have to dip him in for a call annoyingly, but if they do show, is there any way that we can get this sent out as well? It's calm if it's a no, by the way.
No, yeah, it's a yes. But what I was going to ask is anybody opposed to me uploading this to YouTube? Because I think this was actually a pretty good session that a lot of people will find value from. Michael, I'll edit that out, by the way, if you want me to.
I'm fine with it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Good.
cool.
Balls on the table. That's what we love. Right, let's have a look at this, Joshua.
Can't hear it. bro.
What? Go on, Bishop.
Can't hear it, mate.
I'm such a dumbass sometimes.
Probably a couple times already. I hope you didn't bore you to death when you spoke.
Oh, where'd you get that one
Bro, I'm
from?
curious. What led you wanted to actually?
Whoa. Where'd you get that one from?
I watched your what's his name? I forgot his name. One of your students said it. And I was like, that's really good. So I had to use it.
Speed to execution, love it. Good lad.
Cool today. What was the reason why you took some time to have a conversation with me when you could have done anything else with your time?
No, I guess lately I think it's been crossing my mind with like, is this like wanting my like being in kind of control of the future that I want for myself or like say future family or something like that, right? And as of right now, I'm a scaffolder in the trades, and it's a lot of hours and a lot of hard work, and it's like I'm a work zombie, so I don't get a lot of social time, right?
Yeah.
So I had to ask for this weekend off. One, so I could do the call with you guys, and then also to do some Christmas stuff with like some family and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But overall, it's like working Sunday to Saturday, 10, 13 hours every day, and it's like it's okay money, but at the same time, it's like I want.
Joshua.
Yeah.
What did I say to you before? What was the kind of like word track that I gave you before when we objection handle time?
Is it you said is your time control?
We're either time either controls our outcomes or we control it. For
Yeah.
your situation, which one do you believe to be true? Okay. What did this guy just say?
He just said he works a lot of hours, long hours.
Nope. Okay. This is how you actually identity sell, by the way. This is exactly how you do it. It's not the version 2. It's the word, it's the language that they use, and you tie that to a specific identity. So what did this guy actually say at the start?
I can't remember now.
See, this is listening. This is how careful you have to motherfucking listen.
He didn't bore you to death.
No, he did not.
Today, what was the reason why you took some time to have a conversation with me when you could have done anything else with your time?
No, I guess lately I think it's been crossing my mind with like, is this like wanting my like being in kind of control of.
Oh yeah, crazy.
Mad.
Yeah.
Ain't it mad, right? Because that's exactly how I'll objection handle him on control. Just that one word there. He wants to be in control of his life. How does he define that? How does he define being in control of his life? Because once he gives me that, that's exactly how I'll objection handle him. Because he's not in control of his life, that's exactly where it leads him to at the end of the call. He's not in control of being able to change. So that's where I'll identity him on the version of him that's actually in control of his situation. The person that can operate from a place of I'm in control. I decide what I want to do, when I want to do it, and how I want to be successful. Whereas now, how in control does he feel being able to accomplish those things? So what do you think needs to change? The version of him, the person that sells himself short on how much time he doesn't have, or the person that is able to prioritize what's important to him and realize that time is always going to be short, but what can he do differently this time around to show himself that he is capable of achieving what he wants? Yeah. Or what I would also do is there's a money versus time hook that I usually put into my calls, right? So I want to put in a hook of like so you know the difference between time and money? Because they're both resources, right? But do you know the difference?
There's a foot ton of money out there. There's not a foot ton of time. We're losing one
Exactly.
of them.
Well, we can always gain more of one, but one we're losing every single day. And guess what? You'll never get back time. So there, I'm putting that hook in, so that gives him more power to then make the change. Because the likelihood is, why wouldn't he just invest the money and then work towards getting his time back? Because one he's getting more of, the other one he'll never ever get back.
Are you doing this the moment you hear that?
Not the moment I hear it, but I'm playing it into the call down the line.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I'm kind of putting a hook in there. So like by the end of the call, that hook is placed, and then when it comes to the end of objections, that hook is already in his mind, or it's kind of like subconsciously sat in the back of his mind. And then it brings more power. It has more momentum throughout the whole call as well. Okay.
Future that I want for myself, or like say future.
Go on, James. I can't hear you, Mike's muted.
No, yeah. My Zoom controls went away for some reason. Really quickly, sorry, I don't mean to cut everything off. It's we can allow time to control our outcomes, or we control the time. What was that one more time?
It's actually an STS, by the way, I think. Oh no, it's actually not. Okay. Let me do this. I can't see because there's about fucking 10 people trying to come in the call. This here. This.
Perfect. I'm gonna take a picture of that real quick. Thank you.
No worries, bro. So this here again. What is the one thing we can't get back? Time. So what does that show you about using time as a reason you can't accomplish the things that are important to you? Because then they realize the contradiction, right? So that's the power. That's the power behind it. That's how you get them to reframe themselves to then make a better decision. So time either
Where is that
controls your.
document?
Oh, it's secret. It's not finished yet.
Okay, all right.
But it's
I'll
this.
wait.
It's like the why hasn't it happened, and then obviously it'll play into like different experiences, like fear, ego, past experiences, mindset, knowledge. So when people say I didn't have the knowledge, I didn't know where to start, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So kind of like what we were talking about earlier before we hopped on this call.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Nikki asked a question. She said, "Are you writing notes during the call?"
Good question. No worries, Grant. Go make some more fucking deals. I always write notes all the time. I'll write keywords, by the way. So what I'll do is I'll write keywords. So for example, he said control, I'll write control. But if I'm not gonna directly combat, or if I'm not gonna directly question it right there and then, what I'll usually do is I'll write control and then I'll write a dash and then define question mark. So I want him to define what that means to him. So I know, for example, in the future I'm gonna ask that question, but I know exactly what kind of question to ask, okay? Because I know sometimes they can always spill on certain stuff and it's hard to keep track of certain questions, but you still need to make sure you have everything that you need. So I would always make sure, like, I have $1 million notepad somewhere. So, but in the $1 million notepad, basically, there's I always remember this kid because it was so fucking powerful. I wish I still had this call. There was a young kid that wanted to get into medical device sales. He was very young. He was like 20 years old. He might have only just turned 20. He was the program itself was 10 grand, right? So obviously there was going to be a lot of fear for a 20-year-old that had been saving that money up. So for that kid, one of the main things that I sold him on was his identity. So throughout the call, he mentioned he wants to be a top 1% performer or a top 5% performer as a medical device sales rep. And he wants to prove a point to his dad that he is actually capable of achieving more than he's experienced so far. So when he gave me an objection at the end of wanting to, I can't remember what the objection was, he wanted to go away and do something. Thinking about the top 5%, thinking about the person you are when you're in the top 5% and what you want to show you're capable of to your dad. What do you think that person does? Do you think he puts time and distance between where he wants to go? Or do you think he realizes that despite the fear and despite the circumstances, he should still commit to what it takes to become the top 5%? So the reason I write those things down is because that's what I'm going to hold him to as an identity towards the end of the call. You with me? So that's why notes are so important, because without those notes, I wouldn't have had context to be able to challenge on that. Yeah. Bit of an overspill there, but yes, I take notes. Sorry, I'm good at that sometimes.
Family or something like that, right? And as of right now, I'm a scaffolder in the trades, and it's a lot of hours and a lot of overall. It's like working Sunday.
Okay, well, how long have you been a scaffolder for?
I think I'm going on for like I think 7 months. But prior to that, I was just working at Shoppers Drug Mart.
Okay, so 7 months now working Sunday to Saturday, right? 10, 13-hour shifts. So we're talking well over 60-70 hours probably a week, right? That's insane. What would you say you're not able to do because of that?
I think like I have one buddy. I have one buddy of mine, and we're our usual.
Cool. Here's a better quality question that's going to give you more from that. He might have given you the exact thing, but like, what are some of the main experiences that spring to mind that time is taken away from?
What are some of the main experiences
that spring to mind
that is taken away from?
Yeah. Does a specific experience spring to mind that time takes away from?
That's really good.
How did you feel in that experience? So they'll give you something you ask a very specific question, they'll give you a very specific experience. Or they might even give you an accumulation of specific experiences. So if they've got kids, well, I've missed certain birthdays. I missed a specific event for this kid's birthday. In that moment, what actually went through your mind? How long has that been going on for? Why have we allowed it to go on for so long, despite feeling X way for so long as well?
We used to do. We used to like hang out and stuff, and we used to just talk or catch up and stuff. And like now, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that anymore. Like I have 2 little siblings, a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I don't get to see them a whole lot anymore because of the work. And all I do is just come home, eat dinner, basically shower, go to bed, wake up. So yeah, or myself. Yeah.
Social life is pretty much not there. You're losing family time.
Yep, a lot.
Wow. And that's been going on for 7 months. So you've been feeling this kind of way for the last 7 months, or has it been recently it's kind of hit you?
A little bit previously. I just didn't really know where to start a little bit before that. I just didn't know where to start or go. But overall, yeah, it's been a lot more like that for those months. So
how that must be quite frustrating, right? I'd say would you say it's quite frustrating to say the least?
It is. It is just starting to, because I get really irritable because it's just like I don't have time for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When you say irritable, how does that show up? Does that show up in your family, or what does that show up?
It's just, I guess it's like when I'm like around people every single day,
Yeah.
with like specifically for work, right? No enjoyment or anything. It's just, so when I get irritable, maybe a simple situation, like I love when people talk to me, like I love it. But I guess
The first question I want to ask, by the way, is it's like, how are we still here 7 months despite feeling this way? That's what I want to know. Because I want to get to the excuses as quick as I can.
Why is that? Is that to tackle it?
I want to get out. I want to get the objections out straight away.
Okay.
Because that's exactly what it'll be. It'll be an objection. If you know, like genuinely, if you know for the past 7 months, like Joshua, this hasn't actually been helping you and it's actually causing you all these frustrations, how have we allowed it to go on for 7 months? Have you ever heard the saying, what we're not changing, we're choosing? So like for the past 7 months, do you feel like you've actually been trying to change the situation, or do you feel like you've just been choosing it because it's easy to kind of let life pass you by like that? Because then he'll probably give me an excuse. Well, that's the way life is, or that's, it's my job, I couldn't really do. Well, who said you couldn't? You get to choose. You get to choose every day, every single day you wake up. You get to choose what you can and can't do. So what have you actually been choosing for the past 7 months? To change the situation, or to allow it to keep you stuck? So now we're getting all the objections out straight away, right? But I'm helping him see things from a different perspective as well. I'm not challenging him. I'm helping him see things differently, because he's probably not brought that awareness to himself that he's actually just choosing the situation instead of changing it. You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that.
Kind of like I took business, and it was just like kind of like my teacher's like, yeah, there's many other, kind of, he knows all that stuff.
Get to your goal of 50, 60K a month and having that time freedom. What prevented you, would you say?
I think what stopped me was, I think, okay, one part of it, I will be honest, the one part of me was I was scared, but I was also, it was kind of like the one part of I was holding myself back because like I didn't want to, like I didn't know if I was gonna like mess up or anything, like those normal thoughts that you get, like, oh, what if I can't do it type of thing, or
yeah,
all this, and but it was also like, I don't know, I was kind of like, I bring my ideas to my family, right? Well, I stopped though, but I brought the ideas to them, right? I just wanted to tell them like, hey, I think I want to do this. Try to see where it can go. And obviously, I grew up with a family where if one thing
I would do here as well, how many times do you think you've relayed that conversation to them about all these ideas with no execution? Do you know why I'm doing that though?
Is that to expose to him like how much he keeps doing the same thing over and over again, or what the
Yes.
what the damage is?
Yeah, that and as well at the end of the call, if he keeps doing that before he does anything, what do you think is the likelihood at the end of this call that he's going to tell me the same thing, that he wants to go and speak to his parents about this idea?
Very high.
Yeah, so like I'm putting that in there to get ahead of that as well. Yeah.
said, I go with it because it's kind of like I've always been controlled in one way. I'm still getting used to my independence and, not listening to other people other than myself, because I know, what I want and I know who I am as a person. So
Cool. So like this is important as well, by the way. A lot of you guys miss certain stuff like this, but these are really good openings to be able to handle partner objection and stuff. A lot of you look for like the perfect word track for partner and stuff like that. This is how you get ahead of it. So he played that into the conversation, right? So let's do that again.
not listening to other people other than myself, because I know, what I want and I know who I am as a person. So my family was very dictating about that, and they kind of shot down the idea. So I kind of just was at a halt and I didn't know what to do, and I'm going back and forth in my brain. Do I do this? Do I not? Or like, where do I start?
Yeah.
So I saw your guys' survey.
So here's the thing, right? Do you know why I find that really important? I'm glad you raised that, is because at the end of the day, when you go to bed at night, whose are all these ideas? Whose are all these accomplishments that mean the most to who? Who do they mean the most to? Who? Who's got to be in control of those decisions? Who's got to be in control of those outcomes? Me. And every time that you go to your parents or your partner and you relay the idea and it gets shut down, how does that actually feel? when that happens, where it feels shit. Okay. So what does that show you about getting validation from other people before you finally make a decision for yourself? It's not worth it. Okay. So I know exactly, I'm getting a grip of that in my fucking palm of my hand. And I know at the end of the call, he's not going to give me some sort of validation objection. Okay. So like that's when people say stuff like this, you have to think about it in a way of like, what does that actually mean when he says that? That means that he's spoken to people or he looked for some level of validation. So now but he's also aware of the fact that it doesn't actually help. So I'm going to make that even more powerful. I'm going to even bring more weight to that. So that at the end, he doesn't go back to the old ways, to the old patterns. Okay. Everything that they say, think about it. How could this be a potential objection? What are they saying? How do I get ahead of that? How can I bring that into the conversation to give it even more weight so that they don't continue with objections? Okay.
One time, and that's when I was kind of like, you know what, I'll just do it. I said I'm doing it for me.
Yeah. First of all, once again, like I appreciate the transparency. You know, a lot of people very similar to you, they conform, right? I think we all naturally, just the way the school system is, we've always taught what to do, how to do it. That's just what we grew up, right? So stepping out of the cloth and trying to think differently is frowned upon. So I commend you for taking the action to just open the school. But as we all know, like it's one action going into the gym, but it's another thing actually working out and putting effort, right? Because when people wake up saying, you know, I'm going to go to the gym, they go to the gym, maybe step in there, and they're like, you know what, I don't want to work out for whatever reason, they go back home, right? So
No, 100%.
you're taking a step. It's just about then taking action. Have you considered as well that you may sound like you have, but I'm not asking, have you considered that, you know, you having that kind of fear and that concern about whether you can do something like this has kind of led to you being in this position where you are now for the past 7 months, where you're working 10, 13 hours a day, and you kind of accepted that? Have you considered how
say it with your chest. Good. Say it with your chest, though. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean when I say that?
Yeah. Yes. Just say it directly.
Say it.
Yeah. I feel you.
Say it with your motherfucking chest like you believe it. Because that's good. Go on, Sky.
Quick question. So there's been times whenever I would commend them for being open about them basically not doing what they know that they need to do. But I had a sales call with someone else and they're like, you shouldn't be doing that. Is there a way where I can voice out that them being transparent with me should be something like comforting in that fact?
Somebody told you, so when they're being vulnerable, they're pretty open with you, and somebody told you not to do that.
So in terms of just like, they told me, well, how they explained it was that I was overly being like friendly with that person when I was saying.
Give me an example. So like Josh, I don't know. What did they say? What did they say that you
this guy Brendan, or are you talking about?
No. Be one sec. Let me figure this out. What did you say?
Oh, it was like like a month ago. They were saying, oh, like I haven't been really doing this and that in terms of like getting to where my goals. And I was like, I commend you for being open and honest in terms of that. And so what I just saw that Joshua did was that he also sprinkled in like knowing that, hey, like you had this issue, but I also commend you for being able to change that and acknowledge the fact, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Okay. So Joshua, give me something like this guy just did.
So he says, okay, so I was quite scared, hence why I didn't really take as much action during these past 7 months. And if I'm being honest, I've kind of always seek to speak to my girlfriend about certain things before I take action.
Okay. And do you feel like that's actually helped you?
Not really, if I'm being honest.
Well, the most important thing is that you actually have self-awareness around that. Because for most people, they like to hide away and tell themselves stories that don't actually support them. So in fairness to you, it's good that you have the self-awareness, but what we also don't realize is why things haven't changed and how this fear that you keep holding on to isn't actually supporting you to get to where you want to go. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, so let's actually have a look at that then. What do you think give me an experience of where you feel like you've actually been fearful?
I had an opportunity to start a new program, a fitness program actually. And I spoke to my girlfriend about it, and because I wasn't sure whether it was something that would actually benefit me. And she told me, you know, I think she feels like I can do it without him, and I kind of agreed because I was a bit worried about what could happen if it didn't work out for me.
Okay. Can I ask a question that I want you I want you to see this from a good place. Is your girlfriend in a position of where you want to be in the success you want to have?
No, she's not.
Okay. I hope you take that with good intentions, by the way, because this might help you. Does it make sense for you as an entrepreneur that wants to achieve all these things to take advice from somebody that is not where he wants to be or has never achieved the success that he wants?
No, that doesn't make sense
Why would you say that?
because they can't really give me much from their viewpoint.
Okay. So next time around that it comes to making a decision that's going to benefit you, that matters the most to the person, what do you think you need to start doing differently this time around to make sure that we don't sabotage ourselves and fall into the same patterns of failure?
Make my own decisions.
Good. Well, there you go, Sky.
Okay, yeah, that's probably what they were that's what they were trying to explain to me. That was a better case because it's like I would commend them for being transparent and honest with me, but then it wouldn't deep dive into like the actual pain point itself.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're very good, Sky. Thank you, bro. Go on, Abby Shaq.
After that last thing that you said there, would it be good to just round that up with like a cost of inaction? Because what happens if we continue to ask other people for validation before we take,
Yeah.
one step forward?
Yep, you can do. Like I say to you all the time, the biggest thing I want from all of you is the adaptability in a conversation to go whichever way you feel like is necessary based on the conversation. But it's your skill set, right? Your skill set to be able to adapt or maneuver for a conversation whichever way you want. So you can feel if you feel in that moment, okay, what's going to add weight to this conversation now is the cost of inaction. If he keeps looking for validation before he makes a decision, cool, I'll roll straight into that because that's what's going to give it the most weight. You with me? Easy.
Yeah, I think me being like that, I think really led me to this because I watched the video about Renzo and how he said, I think it was 18 months. He was saying,
What you want to do as well, Josh. So let's say, for example, let's do this. Let's do this again. Just play a different role play. You just say you were fearful or something.
Okay. Yeah, I was a bit afraid of potentially hopping this call today.
You was afraid? There's no way. I'm not that bad.
Yeah, I was a bit concerned about.
Why?
I wasn't sure whether this was something that would actually benefit me, and if I'm being honest, I feel a bit pressured to take action today.
Okay. Pressure from who?
From whoever I spoke to, whoever I was going to end up speaking to, which would be you in this case. I feel like I might, make a decision under a lot of pressure.
Okay. Well, what do you think creates the best entrepreneurs? The entrepreneurs that operate from a place of comfort or pressure?
Pressure.
Okay. Well, if you look at Elon Musk, for example, I mean, that guy was sleeping on the couch in tremendous amounts of debt. And you know what came off the back of that?
He's a millionaire.
What is his company called? I'm going to say PayPal. PayPal. So
Yeah.
what does that show you about the people that shy away from pressure? Because at the end of the day, like the pressure isn't for me. Like I don't pressure you into doing anything. But maybe sometimes what humans like to do is we like to push away certain validation because it's not the pressure that we feel from the other person, it's the pressure that we feel from the conversation that has built up to this point where nothing's changed and we're still in a situation that isn't serving us. So how much pressure do you feel like there is behind you actually accomplishing the things that you want?
Like in a metric wise, or
You tell me. I mean, for me, I pretty much had like a rocket straight up my ass that felt a tremendous amount of pressure to get to where I want to go. But that's what led me to the success that I have now. So like, how much internal pressure do you feel every single day to actually accomplish the things you want?
a ginormous amount.
You sure? Okay. So if I was to able to chip away and add a little bit more extra pressure so that you can finally step into the version of you where you are accomplishing the things you want, would that be something you would respect?
For sure.
Yeah. So can I hold you to the standard where you feel a level of respect for me, but for yourself more importantly, because you finally pressured yourself into a decision that maybe you hadn't been able to make in the past? There's a couple of ways I can go with it, but what I'm saying is, let's say, this is what I want you to do, Josh, in the future. So let's say what's prevented you, right? So I ask, Josh, what do you feel like? What do you feel like actually has prevented you from even getting to this point or getting to the point that you want to in your life? What has actually prevented you?
I'll say mostly life. Things happen, and it just an L after an L, and it keeps setting me back.
Hasn't set you back though, has it? It's led you here. And do you know what you being here shows me?
What?
What do you think it shows me?
That I'm willing to carry on, that I'm relentless.
Good. And are you that type of person?
Yeah.
Cool. So every L that you've taken, your response to failure or your response to that failure, that particular failure or those particular failures, those are exactly what lead you to the path that you want to be on. So it's like, how do you associate those L's with who you are as a person? And how do you define your response to failure? Are you gonna let it give? Are you gonna give up? Or are you gonna allow that self-doubt? Are you gonna allow that self-doubt to creep in and take over and sabotage everything that you could be? Or are you gonna understand that an L is there for a reason so that you can adapt, learn what it takes to be successful, and then maneuver all the way back around and become who you want to become? How do you want to define it as your story?
Yeah, I want to make sure that I define
Okay.
it myself.
So instead of associating every experience that we've had so far as a bad experience, what can we start saying to ourselves instead?
It's a lesson, and
Good. There we go. Do you know
Oh,
why do you know why I know that you're going to be a success this time around?
why is that?
Because this time you understand what is required for you to be successful. It's not about what you've done in the past, it's about who you are today and what you're going to change to make sure you have who you want with the success that you want. Yeah. But but to be fair, right? So let's say you say fear, right? Fear has held me back or whatever. Give me an experience of when you felt fear. So then they're going to give you an experience. How long ago was that? Well, it was X amount of time ago. Okay. Had you had, and then you're going to use that reframe that I used there. It's their response to like failure, right?
Mhm.
Had you not given up a year ago and you followed through with it, regardless of how you felt in the moment, where do you think you could be today? How much do you feel like you've actually lost in the past year because you fell into self-sabotage? How much do you think you've lost? So then they'll give you a number, right? Or if you know their numerical outcome, well, if you look at it, right, you want to be able to make 10 grand a month. And over the past year, that's about 120 grand a year. It's 120 grand. If I was to put $120,000 in your pocket right now, how would that shape things for you today? How would that change things if I was to able to put $120,000 in your pocket right now?
Mm.
So you want to add up the weight of what they've actually lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you want to create fear as like a bad experience that causes them to lose money every single day, every single year that they hold on to it. Okay.
Correct.
So use that as well. Oh shit.
I think he said he was afraid and he didn't take like.
So
And that's
at this,
specifically, yeah.
Go
on. At this point, I believe he's just saying, I'm stuck. So I think that's what we're just going through the payment option. And he just kept saying he was stuck.
Stuck in what way?
Like to take the action to buy the program.
Mm.
No, I'm more happy to support you throughout that process.
If I continue to save how I am right now,
right? How much time would you say you're available each day?
Want to 100%, and know I'm more than.
How if you're stuck? Well, what does stuck actually mean? What does stuck actually mean to you? Let's say you're the process. What does stuck actually mean to you?
Well, I'm torn in between having to not have the time to actually implement this, or wait until I get back to my hometown and actually having the time to do it.
What are you here for?
I'm here to have more control over my time, to have more freedom.
Okay. And how in control of you succeeding to that level do you feel every time that you tell yourself that you're stuck?
Very far.
So what can you say to yourself instead to show yourself that not only are you not stuck, but you're now in control and a true entrepreneur that experiences the success that you want to? what can you say to yourself instead?
I can say I'll figure it out, but I just don't know how I would.
That's fine though. That's what I'll work with you to do, right? That is my part of my job. All I need you to do is to find the courage to show yourself that you're capable of more than you've experienced in the past. Because do you know what happens if you don't break a pattern?
It keeps on going.
There you go. Very good. And if this keeps on going for another year or even another 5 months, is that actually a concern for you?
Yeah, it would be.
Okay, can I ask why? Without sounding too silly, because we may have gone over this, but like, can I ask why?
Because it means that me and my girlfriend carry on being long distance.
Okay.
I miss out a lot of time with my family, my grandparents.
So what do they deserve to see from you here today to show yourself that instead of selling yourself short on the fact that you're stuck, you're now a person that is capable of figuring it out to accomplish the things that he wants?
What was the first part of that question?
So what can you show for them here today? What can you show the people that are most important to you that no longer are you a person that labels himself as stuck, but now you're a true entrepreneur that shows himself what he's capable of figuring out so that he can have the success that he wants. So I'm taking away his identity of being stuck and I'm helping him see it from a person that is capable. Okay. Because the way they speak to themselves, this is a nugget that you'll take away as well. The way that they speak to themselves is exactly how their story will play out. So the language that they use is how they make decisions. Okay. So if he uses the word stuck and he continues to believe that he's stuck, then that's all he'll ever be. He's stuck. Because even in 2 months' time, he'll still be stuck. Because that's his mentality, right? Being stuck is an attitude. But how can you change that to actually experience the success that you want? Yeah?
Yeah.
Easy. If you got a down payment though, wouldn't worry about it. You did a job. Biggest thing I try and focus on is how can I help this person actually make a decision? Whatever the objection is, at least, obviously there's ways you can reframe it, but like worst case scenario, I just want them to make a decision that I know is going to benefit them, whatever that may be. Yeah.
Right.
Does any of that help?
Massively, right, man. More than helps. It does everything. So
Good lad.
Very helpful. Thank you, man.
Love it. Where are you from in London again?
East London, pretty much Essex.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'd do? Because your background's pretty cold. I would probably get like a blue light and then put it on the floor so it kind of lights up blue against the white because it'd look clean that.
Okay, cool. I'll do that. I should get as soon as.
Sweet. Easy peasy.
Thanks.
No worries, my man. Zach.
Hello.
How are you, bro?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm tired. I've been up early this morning, but I refuse to get off this call.
Oh, you'll be all right. You'll survive, won't you? Go on. Send me this call that you had in the Instagram.
Yes, just give me a moment.
How's everyone else? Anyone taking any takeaways so far? Davies, you look like you're about to kill me in some way.
Sorry?
You look like you're about to kill me. Yeah, any takeaways so far? Or are you bored?
No, it's interesting. Lots of takeaways.
Just interesting. Fuck, I am boring to people to death. No, you're all good. Glad you took some takeaways. What do you sell?
So me is not exactly mentorship. I sell I work for a prop firm. It's called YouFunded. I sell funded accounts. So I don't know if you're familiar with the world of trading, but basically the point of selling is that it's instant funding instead of like passing the challenges and burning the accounts or risking losing their own funds. So like that's why people come to us basically.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that before. You sell those? Is that what you actually sell?
Yeah, I sell the funded accounts. So there's like multiple tiers. There's like a 45K funded account that starts at 1.5 and then up till the 360 funded account, that's a 12K package.
Oh, nice. Very good. How long have you been doing that?
I started in November on this offer.
Okay.
So yeah, that's
Good.
how it's going. Yeah.
Nice. Mr. Zach, what's the problem with this?
Stuck it in the call.
Yep.
The guy had been burnt in the past, and money was just a problem for him. So I felt like I'd, really tried to get him to see the importance of taking action and such, but I don't know, he didn't commit in the end. He said he wanted 48 hours to really sit back and make a decision, because in the past he'd made the decision when pressure was on and it didn't result in him being successful. He ended up getting burnt.
But how do you, okay, so whether he took 48 hours or he made the decision on the spot, was that still a bad decision?
Was it still a bad decision on his part?
Yeah. Like whether he waited a week, 48 hours, or he made it in the moment, was it still a bad decision?
You say by decision or bad decision?
Bad decision. Still a bad decision, wasn't it? Whether he took 48 hours, he made an impulse decision, he took 48 hours to think about it, or he made it in a week. That's still a bad decision that he made.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I did kind of make that point to him, but it was very much a case of he'd acted out of pressure in the past and it hadn't resulted in him getting the results that he wanted, and he actually ended up getting results he didn't wanted. And so as a vow to himself, he said he wasn't going to make decisions on the spot going forward.
Say that again. Right. So he didn't get the results he wanted from a decision that he made on impulse.
Yeah, so he'd been in a situation prior where he'd invested in a course, and he said it was the exact same thing. He'd obviously been promised certain things, and he invested on the spot in the moment, and he didn't get what he wanted.
Okay, how much responsibility is he taking for that action?
Obviously not enough.
None. It's everybody else's fault that I made a bad decision. Oh, they pressured me. Really? Did they have a gun to your head?
Yeah.
No. So, okay. So I don't hear see, when you say that, I actually don't hear much responsibility in your part. Why do you think that is?
Maybe I should have reframed him and made him understand that it was his fault.
It's whether you like it or not, right? It's your fault. It's your fault because now your ability to be able to make a decision is now sabotaged because you associate that experience with every decision that you make moving forward. So when did you make that decision? When did he make this decision?
This was he said to me it was going back a couple of years even. And it just put him off going trading altogether.
There you go. See what I mean? He's not taking responsibility. So the only reason he's not successful right now is because he allows a sour taste to sit in his mouth instead of moving on from that experience and making a decision. So there's two sides of that, right? So one is you create an enemy of the previous program because now they're the only difference between you succeeding or not succeeding. Because every time you don't make a decision, they actually win. They are in control of your life and your decisions.
Okay. Another thing he does say here, and this is something that I've had, struggle getting past in the past, is he said there was someone else that was going to be contributing to the investment for him. I get this sometimes with like the partner objection because I'll go down the route of asking if they're, the one that takes control of their own life and their own decisions and such. But often they're saying, it's shared funds and that kind of thing. So that was another thing that I was interested to see what your opinion was on, because for me, I feel like that's a bit of a difficult position to get past.
Why aren't they on the call then?
Yeah.
Is it a secret? Do you always hide business decisions from them before you make them? No, but right. So now to give you actual concrete stuff. So what I usually do in that instance, if it's genuinely a partner objection where they shared accounts, cool. Have you ever, I'm sure within your relationship, there's certain boundaries of what you can and can't spend between each other. Is that fair or inaccurate?
Yeah.
Okay. When was the last time? Can you buy a cup of coffee?
Well, me personally, no, but I'll control my own money, but everyone's not the same, are they?
No, I'm on about the prospect. Let's say it's the prospect.
Okay.
Can you buy a cup of coffee?
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
You can? Okay. Well, that's good. We're off for a good start. Can you buy yourself McDonald's?
Yeah.
I'm just fucking with you on that one, right? Can you what is it within your reach or like some sort of control that you both can come together and buy some? 1 second.
Can you hear me?
So what I'm going. Sorry, my nephew was crying. what I'm getting at, bro, is there's usually a threshold of what person can spend on their own terms. So they'll usually, I can't spend X amount without my partner knowing. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll focus on what they can spend within a certain threshold, then I'll get a down payment on the basis of that. Because if I did this on a coaching session the other day, which was a better word track than what I'm giving you now, but once I get that threshold, then I'll run for a down payment on the basis of that. So let's say it's like $500. You can spend 500 without the partner knowing. Anything afterwards off of that, if they lie to me, if they say they can spend that, and then they still say they need to speak to the partner, then they're just lying to me, and it's just fair.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because they've already told me what they can spend with their own decision. You with me?
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I would usually figure out first. Let me see. I think I've actually got a thingy behind it. Let me have a look for you. If I go here, because there's usually a couple of ways that I'll approach partner. Let me see this one here. No, it's not this one. It's this one. Cool. If it's shared finances, it's going to be to get to the point to what they can spend on their own terms without making that decision. Once you have this, you can push for that number. The second best option then is down payment. So obviously there's a particular word track that I would usually follow for that. But one of the main ways that I kind of approach partner is, let's say they give you a partner objection, right? How long have you been aware that you'd like to change or that this has been a problem, right? So I want to listen for a specific time frame. So maybe it might be about a year, 2 years, 5 years, okay? Have you ever had that conversation with your partner before? Yes. How does that conversation usually go? Okay, so then they'll either give me an indication of how supportive the partner is or not. How many times have you had that conversation? When was the first time you had the conversation? When was the last time you had the conversation, right? So then I create a time distance between them both. Then has anything changed in between those conversations, or has the problem remained the same? Okay, so do you know where I'm going with why? Then I'll ask, why do you think that is? So do you know what I'm getting out of that?
Is it about understanding how long it's been an issue without a solution?
Yes, it's that, and it's showing them how speaking to their partner isn't actually going to solve the problem because they've had this discussion before, X time, and the problem has still remained the same. So that shows me that speaking to the partner hasn't actually done anything in the past. So what do they need to do differently this time around to show themselves that they can actually make a decision, or things need to change to make a decision to change? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no.
So that's usually how I run that. I would run that. Okay. Okay, let me look at this. What's he on about?
Down the bottom left of the screen.
Oh, he's on a phone call.
Can you hear me?
That's what I can hear you now, mate.
Oh, super. Sorry, I just had to sort out a call came in like literally whilst you jumped on.
Oh, is he English? Do you sell to mostly English people?
Yeah, predominantly. Yeah, the odd one from elsewhere comes in, but the majority is British. It's a British offer.
Is it?
Yeah.
Most people in there know how I feel about English people.
So I had to literally just take it. You're actually on my phone. Let me just switch the camera one sec.
Book the call.
Well, I saw your ad, and I've been doing trading for probably about since 2020.
Oh, yeah.
2021. Around about that, 2020, 2021. And it's just been on and off really. Been trying to basically.
So 5 years. That's the first thing I wrote. So 5 years. So I get concrete, right? So 5 years.
Trying to like perfect the strategy. I've made money but lost money as well. So
made money but lost money. Which one is it? Have you made money or have you lost money? I want to get concrete on that as well. Your ability to be sharp in this moment is where he'll build up respect.
Yeah.
Does that make sense when I say that? Do you know why I want to know, is he winning or losing? Because I want him to be truthful about the situation. Okay.
Just interrupting him as he says it.
Yes.
Got it.
I saw your ad, and it seemed like obviously you guys had a lot of testimonials there as well, and it showed
I forgot his name now, but he showed him kind of show a strategy that was not sort of emotional based. It showed that it was basically it's something that took away the different sort of emotional elements that make you lose trade.
Oh, this is perfect. Do you know why? Language is everything. The words that they choose to use is everything. So what did he just say there?
Strategy is what drew him in.
Nope. See how we always focus on the wrong things? What did he say? Emotions. Emotions. He said, you show me a strategy where you take away the emotions. So what does that show me about his decision making or what he's experiencing now? He's trading on emotions. And when people trade on emotions, where does that usually lead them?
Failure.
Where? Failure. Why? Because they get emotional and they chase trades and then open in a spiral of loss, or they are hesitant to pull the trigger. Yeah. So if I can pick that up early, I would ask him that as well. Why is that the thing that stood out to you most? Why is taking away the emotions the thing that stood out to you most? Because right now I'm an emotional trader. I'm trading based on emotions. I'm getting very emotional. I'm getting caught up in my losses. Pain. Not pain, but here's the problem. Here's another thing that most people need to understand. Not every prospect has pain. Some of you try and force the pain that's not there. Prospects have a problem. They don't always have pain. Does that make sense when I say that? Because I think I've seen it so many times where people try and sell pain. It's not, we're trying to solve a problem. Okay. This guy's problem is emotional trading. And if he keeps emotionally trading, how likely is he to get the success that he wants? Not likely. So what do we need to change? And then again, because he's emotionally trading, he's also making emotional decisions. So how can we get him out of the emotional decisions of holding onto this sour taste to now be able to make a logical decision? Yeah.
Yeah.
To make him see that it's just logical.
And it showed that there was a process where he could like show me the A to B systems. So that's pretty much why I got it. I said, let me find out a bit more about this. I want to basically make trading something that could start to generate me a good decent amount of money monthly that could then replace my income. So yeah.
Oh yeah. So I'm going to relay everything I've gathered from that just to make sure we're on the same page. Okay. Been doing this since about 2020, 5 years, on and off sporadically. Now I'm going to make an assumption that that's due to the fact that sometimes you were successful, but then at other times you weren't, and you said, I'm done with it, and you've gone away, but then you've continued to come back and, try and do it again. Realistically, what has drawn you to actually booking the call with us is the fact that the system we've got is mechanical and it really removes the discretionary elements. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect. So why are you looking to change career, first of all?
I want the freedom. I want the location freedom. So I want to be able to move when I want, basically, and just be able to work for myself. Make sure that I've also got financial freedom as well. So location freedom, financial freedom at the moment.
Yeah, got it. And you briefly touched there on work for yourself. Is that just simply so that you're your own boss, or are you actually getting frustrated that you're not your own boss?
Oh, well, it's both, really. So I want to be my own boss, and
yeah, it was kind of both.
Like show me the A to B systems, my income. So yeah.
Oh yeah. So I'm going to relay everything I've gathered from that just to make sure we're on the same page. Okay. Been doing this since about 2020, 5 years, on and off sporadically. Now I'm going to make an assumption that that's due to the fact that sometimes you were successful, but then at other times you weren't, and you said, I'm done with it, and you've gone away, but then you've continued to come back and, try and do it again. Realistically, what has drawn you to actually booking the call with us is the fact that the system we've got is mechanical and it really removes the discretionary elements. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect. So why are you looking to change career, first of all?
I want the freedom. I want the location freedom. So I want to be able to move when I want, basically, and just be able to work for myself. Make sure that I've also got financial freedom as well. So location freedom and financial freedom at the moment.
Yeah, got it. And you briefly touched there on work for yourself. Is that just simply so that you're your own boss, or are you actually getting frustrated that you're not your own boss?
Oh, well, it's both, really. So I want to be my own boss, and I'm frustrated that I'm not my own boss. So it's both of those working simultaneously.
I get you, mate. I've been there. What's the situation like at work? What's your boss like? Is it just?
No, my boss is fine, to be honest. I work with kids. I'm a youth mentor. So it's a decent job, but again, it doesn't pay well. And also I want to start to basically be in control of my time. Because it's almost a 9 to 5. I've got to be there when someone else says. So yeah, I don't want to be constantly being in that situation. I need the freedom to be able to kind of decide on certain times that I want to be able to work.
Got you.
Not work, yeah.
How long have you been in that job?
At the moment, 2 years, this one specifically.
Okay. And then working under someone else, I'm guessing that's since you started working, yeah?
Yes.
So how long since you started working up until now? How long's that time been?
Sorry, say that again. How long
Yeah,
have I started
I'm not
working
sure.
up to now?
Yeah.
So I said 2 years. So 2 years I've been working at this job.
Yeah.
How long have I working prior to that till now?
Yeah. As long as you've been under someone else's employment, working for someone else.
I mean,
It kind of feels like an interview in some way. Kind of feels like a bit of an interrogation in some way. No, it's a bad thing. I mean, your frame holds quite well, where I can imagine it limits the alpha male personality so much. It depends how much you experience that. It kind of limits that, but it also can sometimes prevent people from being as vulnerable as they could be, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So it's kind of like it works, but there's a limitation to it in a way as well.
But yeah.
I don't mind it, Zach. Like, I think it's a good frame to hold. Maybe you could bring a little bit more personality into it, because I promise you, people will be a little bit more vulnerable to you. I don't know who you are as like a person. Like, I don't know. I can't say like I can't sit here and judge you. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know who you are. But maybe if you bring your personality into a little bit more, people might trust you to open up a little bit more as well.
Yeah.
Because the way you are now is good, right? It's actually perfect, because it's easier to pull somebody back from being so direct than it is to coach somebody to not be a massive pussy. Excuse my language, but like, do you see where I'm going with that? So it's actually easier for me to pull you back to get you more success than it is to have to coach you to become like the guy that you are now.
Oh yeah.
Waited a couple of years ago, probably about 7 years. I've been working for someone else.
So for the last 7 years, you've obviously been under the same circumstances.
Yeah.
What I really want to understand is why now it's become so serious for you to actually look at making a change and getting out of that situation. Has something changed, or talk me through where your head's at? Why now have you decided it's important to make a change?
I've decided now it's important to make a change because it's one of those things, like I've turned 30. If I don't make that decision now, then time is just going to keep going and I'm going to be losing it. So now I can't keep pushing things forward. So I've reached that point where it's like, I can keep saying I'm going to be making sure that the environment and situation is right. But unless I start to give it a go.
Cool. Is that the story you've been telling yourself? Yes. How many times have you told that? How many times have you been holding on to that story? Where has that story led you? So what does that show you about telling yourself that you've got time? Perfect. Now built up like an urgency in the conversation. You with me?
That's just not going to happen. So I've been able to have a little bit more savings. Before I wasn't. I actually was. I've tried many things. I've made money and lost money.
Yeah.
And so, I've had a lot of burnouts before. And so I'm like, I need to, but those situations, I've been doing it by myself. I haven't had a proper sort of coach to guide me on the process. I did at the start of the journey, but that course didn't really work. I finished it to the end, but it was very basic. Didn't really give me all of the things that I needed. And so I just tried to trade myself.
Did you dig into that?
Into him, trying to trade on his own?
No, the fact that he basically just gave you the objection, like I bought something before in the past, I went through it, but it was very basic.
Yeah, I believe I do. Yeah.
What you could also do, bro, if somebody raises this as well, is you can reframe the perspective around how it was basic. Because for him, for example, he says it's basic, but what if that gave him the fundamentals or the confidence to be able to place trades in the first place that actually got him some quick wins? Okay, so you can use that. Because he might associate that with a bad experience, but what if I can reframe him to help him realize it was actually a good experience? Because every successful trade that he's been able to place is because of that course. But the losses that he's taken is because he hasn't had that extra support to then be able to navigate through the emotions of not going through the negatives.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Does that actually make sense of why I would do that?
Yeah, because it then changes his perspective on investing in courses and himself.
Exactly. So then he can't give you the objection at the end of like, oh, this is just the same as the other. Well, actually, it's not. Because this time around, it's like you mentioned, you went through the basics, but that you didn't have support. So it wasn't that you got burnt in the past. You actually just didn't associate with a good experience, because would you be where you are today if you hadn't had it? Would you have been able to place winning trades confidently? No.
Yeah.
But if you had a coach, would he have been able to navigate you through those losses so that you can have the success that you want? Yes. So instead of telling yourself that it was a bad experience, what can we change instead? That's what you want to help them do, see things from a different point of view. Yeah.
And I got burnt a number of times. So the financial burden of burning myself has also kind of restricted me from taking a step like this, for example.
Cool, perfect. There's your objection right there. What I want to do, bro, this is really good. What I want to do, I want to ask him how long ago it was. Then I want to show him how associating that experience with every decision that he ever makes is actually causing more damage than good. And why is he now willing to move on from that sour taste instead of holding on to it? If you keep holding on to that, if you keep holding that sour taste in your mouth, and this continues for another 2 years, is that genuinely concern to you? Yes. How come? So what does that show you about allowing somebody? What does that show you about holding on to this sour taste that has sabotaged you being able to make a decision in the future? Yeah.
So now I have some money saved up. It's not a lot, it's very little, and I'm in some sort of a job that is kind of like money's coming in regularly now, as well. So I feel like I'm in a better place to be able to make some sort of a leap.
Got ya. So what I've gathered from that is a couple of times you've made an attempt to really get yourself in this position where you're in control, where you're actually financially free. Haven't really been successful, whether that's due to you not fully committed or not having the right education, probably a combination of both things. But you're now at the point where you're at 30 years old and you're really just looking at this as a situation as, right, I actually can't keep pushing this off any longer. I need to put my money where my mouth is and actually start taking action.
Sure thing, yeah.
Got ya. So you mentioned you've done a course before. What was that? Was that a trading course?
Yeah, it was a trading course. Pretty much at the start of the journey, really. So it's 2020.
See what I mean? That's like what, 5 years ago? And for 5 years, he's allowed that sour taste to be the reason of not changing his situation.
It was a little, very small education, but I paid quite a bit of, I mean, at the time as well, I didn't have the money for it. So, but I paid for it, but it didn't give me the training I needed. So yeah, it was basic kind of like support resistance, very, very basic parts of trading. Now I've been, on the journey now for 5 years. I know a bit more about trading and that it's not as simple as they made it to be.
If it was just a basic course as well, bro, I would have asked him how much he invested in that.
That was my next question.
What did he say?
1,500 quid.
Well, let me ask you this. If Arnold Schwarzenegger walked into the gym and only ever lifted 15-pound dumbbells, do you think that's going to get him to the size that he's at now?
That's such a valid thing to say.
Because it makes sense, right? If Arnold Schwarzenegger walked into the gym and only ever lifted 20 kilos on the chest press, is he ever going to get the chest that he's got now? No. So every level, there's a new level that you're going to have to face. So what is it you've actually been avoiding that's costing you more money than you'd like to think? Because the level of investment reflects the outcome, right?
There's a lot of things that I have to take into consideration, especially about myself, what type of trader I am. Am I scalper or swing trader, all that kind of stuff. So,
right, let me see the objection handle. I've got a meeting in 2 minutes. Sorry, gangsters. This was a good session, though. Thanks.
Within 6 months, we will give you your money back. Okay, so you've got back to fall back on. If we're going to go back to what we spoke about earlier,
there's a guarantee of return, like he gets his money back
if he commits himself.
Yeah. Okay.
You told me there's several times you've gone about this on your own and you've burnt out. Now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, what you're basically saying is, if I've tried other things in terms of being burnt out, and my own way of trading, wouldn't it be better that I jump on a different model, that has the results that you guys are showing in the course? And that makes a lot of sense. I guess for me, I need a little bit, because again, you pointed out very, very clearly, like, because of my past experience, I have to be a bit more careful with how much I spend on that money, because
I have to be more careful. Yeah. When did he make that investment?
Yeah, obviously it was like 5 years ago, wasn't it?
Okay. So how careful has he actually been?
Yeah.
Over careful, over cautious, over fearful. Because for 5 years he's not made a decision to better the situation.
Yeah. One thing there's one note that I've made down from this whole call. Don't get me wrong, there's a whole lot of value, but the one thing that stuck out to me to actually take action on is to talk about timeframes in the call. Because straight away I noticed that's something that I'm missing from my game.
Yep. It's really good as well, because then you get to, because like you see here, for example, I need to be more careful. Well, what have we been doing for the past 5 years? Have we been careful or proactive about the situation? Have we been reactive or proactive? We've actually been reactive because every time we go to make a change, we react based on our previous experiences. So what are we going to do differently this time around to show ourselves that it's not about being careful, it's actually just making better quality decisions? Because now it's just, did you see where I'm going with this, bro? But I'm glad you took that way. I have got another call. I'm gonna have to dip, gents. I actually appreciate you all jumping on. This was actually a really savage session. I appreciate you sharing the call as well, Zach. If you've got any takeaways, feel free to tag me on Insta or anything like that. I would appreciate it. Be glad to see some takeaways. That'd be savage as well. It was a pleasure to meet you all, despite the people who got cameras off and stuff like that. But it was genuinely a good session, so I hope you all enjoyed it. And it was a pleasure to meet you all. You especially, Vag. Is that how I pronounce your name, Vag?
Me.
No, the coffee trainer over there. The coffee trainer. It was a pleasure to meet you as well, Zach, of course. Go make some fucking commissions. Somebody's got your motherfucking money. Go collect it. Au revoir. Peace out. Bye bye.
Yeah, mate.